Wow, that was exactly. I'm glad we didn't play the puzzle box. If we had played the puzzle box, I'm pretty sure things ended very poorly for us. I'm very happy we did not play the puzzle box. I mean, when we did play the puzzle box, it was great. Shockwave. Oh no. King Counterspell himself. King Counterspell himself. All right, we're gonna have to put this one back. Better. Key bottom, I guess. I don't know. Uh-oh. Turn 1 Hullbreacher. Turn 1 Hullbreacher. Here it comes. Here it comes, chat. Oh, please don't play Opposition Agent. That would be a problem. Uh-oh. They have something. They either have a Hullbreacher or an Opposition Agent. Which one is it? Oh, it's just Ancestral. Never mind, Cat. It's okay. It's okay. It's just Ancestral. Just Ancestral. It's okay. We have turn 2 Vault Key. Should have played an Opposition Agent. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Goblin Engineer does some nice things. I mean, we can't Karn for key. There's no key in our sideboard. But we can Goblin Engineer for key. This is our sideboard. Our sideboard didn't have very much. I would like to put Manifold Key into my graveyard. All right. Your move, Shockwave X. Not putting a key in my sideboard. I feel like they don't have a stop in their first main phase. If opponent doesn't remove this Goblin Engineer, we use the ruby, they use the opal to sack the opal, get a key, and take infinite turns. I guess they could also remove the time vault somehow, or have graveyard hate. Yeah, it's really not worth having like super specific wish boards when you only play one Karn. I think it's worth having a lattice, specifically a lattice, because the lattice turns the Karn into a 1-card combo. So I think the lattice is worth it, but I think like putting a key in my sideboard is not really worth it. At least that's how I feel about Karn boards in Vintage anyways. I mean, apparently they only set the main phase stop when they need it. Okay. We were just checking in. We have drawn this like Ruby at very opportune moments over and over again. So this is probably Shockwave's like opposition agent deck, I think. Hullbreacher opposition, some other cards. All right. Another turn 2 Vault Key. You love to see it. You love to see it. All right, so I think we want to bring in Pyroblast and Chain. And then I think I want to take out Soul Guide Lantern. And wheel. Full guide lantern and twister. Maybe we want to take out like a lot of the Hullbreacher tech if they're going to also be playing Hullbreacher. I'm not sure. Maybe we want... I don't know. Like, we still have a lot of things. Kind of like wheel because it's not pyroblastable. Maybe we want to be playing traps and we can just take out puzzle box and wheel. And that way we're not susceptible to their hull breaching in opposition or hull breaching. So there are a lot less Force of Vigors and Collector Oofs running around now than there used to be. So it might be a time and place where we can be playing more Time Vault keys. Time Vault key is definitely one of the ways that I make medium decks a little bit better. Or like a little bit more playable, at least for streams. Mulligan. I mean, we're gonna draw key, right? So I don't like how they keep F6ing through their main phase. I really don't like this. It's optimization, right? Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Tinker, 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 tinker. We put Tinker in our deck, right? Nope, Mind Break Trap. Suck it. Did we put Tinker in our deck? We did put Tinker. We haven't seen any Tinkers tonight. Why I ask. Man, that Mind Break Trap was quite spicy, huh? I feel like they have a Mind Break Trap as well. All right, I'm gonna hold this. I hate this main phase. It's messing up my cadence. this main phase thing is messing up my cadence. I like it. So now if they put a Citadel into play, I can the fuck? All right, this isn't the biggest deal because we have Welder, so we can negate one of these every turn. Kind of glad I didn't play the Time Vault. I actually want to pay for the Pearl in case I want to get a blue source with my Welder. Kind of awkward. Yeah, and we're gonna be moving inside my company to do a more database-oriented software job instead of a embedded system software job. So, new gig. It's my first new job in like since I joined the workforce. So in 5 years, which is pretty cool. Black, black. Ooh, Bob. You know, Shockwave's a smart player. All right, so with the trigger on the stack, I'm just going to weld this pearl into a sapphire, which gives us maximum mana for the turn. And then the pearl goes away. Wow, that's a good draw, isn't it? What do they have? Spell Pierce? Really? Fuck. I didn't see that coming. I mean, wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just didn't see that one coming. Okay. Fair. Polluted Delta was the revealed card. So I think I'll just pay for this sapphire this time. Can't really see. The only reason I wouldn't want to pay is if I drew key. I think we're just going to pay this time so that I have more Goblin Welder opportunities. So I have 3. I only have 4 mana right now. So if I weld next turn, I'm 1 mana short unless I draw mana. Um No, I'm making business system applications. Like I designed the company's travel authorization system, so taking like workflow and work form processes and turning them into online applications that make the company more streamlined and better organized, that kind of thing. So, thankfully getting away from some of the submarine oriented stuff and more into the business system side of things, which will be more, you know, be better for my career in the long run, I think. So, all right, so I don't really have very many options here. I'm gonna leave this welder up in case I can block this Dark Confidant. I probably doubt. Is this gonna be an opposition agent or a Hullbreacher? So this Triskelion should be good. If I draw a land on my next turn, I actually can play this Triskelion and kill like a Hullbreacher and a Dark Confidant, which would be pretty cool. But I don't have much. They drew another Spell Pierce. Well, Spell Pierce doesn't do much for Triskelion, so that's good. I don't think they'll attack into my active Goblin Welder. Yeah, probably. You think companies want to buy things when they can just make things with their engineers? Come on now. So yes and no. So they outsource the actual travel stuff to a different company that does that. But like um the internal like sign off process is a special, it's a special process for the company itself. So you kind of have to make your own thing to do it. What the hell is that? That's a Darkslick Shores. All right. All right, so I'm gonna weld this in and out for my pearl. The reason I'm doing this is because now I have 6 mana to pay for my Triskelion. You are definitely under costing what software licenses are. Barwick, software licenses for an entire company are insanely expensive. Insanely expensive. I sure hope this resolves. We know that they have a Spell Pierce. We don't know what their other card is. Can you not? It's a good draw. I still have a Triskelion though. Brutal. All right, we have Welder Triskelion, which is pretty strong. Absolutely, Doe. Absolutely. And that's just small installations for like one lab. For a software for a full company is insanity. Die, Dark Confidant. Die. All right, we have an active Triskelion with an active Welder. Opponent has a Spell Pierce. So this looks like okay for us. Vampiric Tutor. Interesting. Can't be good. Can't be good. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. If you take my advice, you'll be killed by what you don't know. Dun, dun, dun. Opponent is in the tank. What card will they Vampiric Tutor for? I would assume Yawgmoth's Will. If they have a Yawgmoth's Will in their deck, it is quite strong right now with a Lotus Petal, Jet, Soul Ring, Ponder, Ancestral, Dark Confidant. I would say that Yawgmoth's Will makes a lot of sense. If they don't have Yawgmoth's Will in their deck, well, they could pick a Delve spell. Tinker is in exile because it got Mindbreak trapped, which is nice. Why Triskelion? That's a great question, one for and only. The real reason we're playing a Triskelion is because Andy wanted one. And Andy is 3-month resub on this channel. You get a lot of power as a 3-month resub, just saying. You could even get a random card in a deck. Could happen. Who knows? I also think it's like legitimately fine. Like Welder Triskelion is a powerful interaction for sure. There's also like a lot of creatures running around in Vintage right now, so Triskellion's definitely at a place where it likes to shoot things. All right, opponent. Oh, opponent vamped for eliminate. One. Oh, okay. Yeah, one and only. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so the welder interaction is over. We had our fun. We are no longer allowed to have fun. They vamped for a way to kill our welder, and then played another energy flux. Well, I guess we're not allowed to have my anything anymore. I think what I'm gonna do is just murder the opponent with my Triskelion, because I don't think I'm paying 4 for any of these artifacts. That's a lot of energy fluxes, by the way. I don't think we have the luxury of doing any of the keepings. Yeah, no infinite turns for us either. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do for now, because 2 fluxes is a lot of fluxes. 1 flux is very beatable. 2 fluxes. I guess we could have just paid for our Triskelion. Maybe that would have been better. It's definitely possible. Maybe, yeah, I didn't really put a lot of stock into that option, but maybe that was actually the play. But we've actually found a better Triskelion. It's a Bomat Courier. It doesn't race my Ancient Tomb though. Yeah, you're probably right, Andy. We probably should have just paid for our Triskelion. That's fair. At least we're gonna get a bunch of CODs at some point here. Not a bad draw, because now I don't take any damage. This Bomat Courier could go the distance. I can go the distance, delivering mail. Opponent has a spell pierce in hand. He's going for speed. God. I mean, I was at a place where they could have killed my Bomat Courier and I wouldn't have gotten CADs, which would have been a problem. You're right. Bomat too strong. Look at the little construct go. What's an energy flux to a mailman? What's an energy flux to a mailman? Uh-oh. That can't be good. Opponent was too aggressive. I think if they didn't eliminate the Goblin Welder, then they would have had a serious problem with the Triskelion, so. Alright, what do they have? They must not have Yogwill in their deck, huh? Because it would just be a snap Yogwill if they had a Yogwill in their deck. This Beaumont, though, oh boy. deep in the tanks. That must mean there's no. I mean, we figured last time they tutored and didn't find a Yogwell that there was no Yogwell. If they don't find a Yogwell here, there's certainly no Yogwell. Yo, what's up, Holmes? Hope you're doing well. What does Karn get? Well, Karn doesn't get cast because Karn costs 4 mana and opponent has a Spell Pierce. So Karn is a dead draw. And also Karn's in our yard. So, all right, opponent got to dig through time. This makes sense to me. I'm going to just fetch now. So opponent's hand is dig through time. Our opponent's hand is unknown, Spell Pierce, and now dig through time. So it's good. It's really good that our opponent doesn't have Yogwell. It feels like this deck should be playing Yogwell. I'm still a pretty big Yogwell fan. I know people were down on Yogwell after Breach got printed, but I think Yogwell is still quite a good card in Vintage. There is exactly the Underworld Breach deck. It's just basically like 4-color combo decks that feature Breach Brain Freeze. You Brain Freeze yourself and you mill Black Lotus, etc., etc. All right, so we have a new Doc Confidant. What does that mean for us? Does that mean that we're getting 4 cards? Feel like it means we're getting 4 cards. Should we play this Time Vault first, or do you guys think that we should? Well, I guess it depends on what we draw. Ooh, we drew another Bomat Courier. Another one. All right, so I'm going to play the Bomat Courier, because I'm not going to get a Time Vault combo. I'm going to use my Ancient Tomb, play the Bomat Courier, attack with the Bomat Courier, get 4 cards. Well, let's see if this resolves first, I guess. Now we're super incentivized to try a new hand. Because I can't pay for 2 couriers. 2 couriers is too many. I'll take the damage, okay. Alright, I'm gonna grab 4 cards here. Let's see what we got. Alright. So this might help us assemble a Vault Key combo. So this is a pretty powerful card as well. We're actually out of fetchable lands as well. We have no more fetchable lands, which is good because I don't think we have any more fetches either. No, we have 1 fetch and no more fetchables. All right, I'm gonna hold these in my hand. They're at 9 life. This Dark Confidant is getting a little dicey. Ooh, hit for 4. Force of Will. They're at 4 life, and we got some hasty boys. It's getting close. This is lit. Our deck is unbeatable, clearly. Thank you for playing, Bob. No attacks. No. All right, so I'm going to let this courier go, I think. I want to have all my mana, right? Maybe I don't want to have all my mana. Do I want to have all of my mana? I should just let this Bob kill him, right? Pay for it and then play 2 Bomat Couriers? Put him to 2? Oh, you make a convincing argument. Pay it and pass. All right, I like pay it and pass. I think pay it and pass has the most. Clout right there. Key. Wow. Key. So what if I play 2 Beaumonts this turn, force them to use Force of Will, and then slam an Engineer? What if we make our Beaumont Courier unblockable? What if we just make our Beaumont Courier unblockable? All right, we got the Force of Will. We got the Force of Will. All right, I'm definitely slamming an Engineer here. And then I'm going to pass. The second line on Manifold Key coming in clutch. We do have a Vault Key in our yard with an active Engineer. Theoretically have an active Engineer. Is this getting forced? Did that just flicker? I thought that flickered for a second. We know they have a Pierce and 2 unknowns. What a game. All right, this result. What are we putting in our yard? Is there anything spicy? Top. Lotus. Probably just top is the strongest. Top plays around fluxes pretty well. Put a top in our yard. So should I play a second Beaumont Courier? No, because I can't pay for it. Though, we can weld in Beaumont Couriers. All right. Dark Confidant trigger. How say you? Treasure Cruise take 8 die. So Goblin Welder can only Goblin Engineer can only weld 3 costs or less. Greatness at any cost. All right, the 3/2 dream is alive. If we weren't smashed by Ren and 6 Bazaar deck, we would be killing it right now.